Welcome to part 3 of the video series that I'm doing with the Intel RealSense. In the last two videos, we've been using this Easy Robot Adventure Bot to navigate using the Intel RealSense T265 tracking camera. And we also have 3 distance sensors around it, which show up in the navigation skill that we're going to be using, but we're not really focusing on that data today. Instead, what we're going to do today is we're going to demonstrate how to go to different waypoints, and we'll also throw in some speech recognition so we can instruct the robot to go different places. So we're going to start off by putting the robot down on the ground here. And I put the robot in a place where we can make sure it gets back to its original starting position. So it's in between these two tiles, as you can see here, right on the edge there. In Arc software, what we're going to do is load up the project we've been working with, which is the AdventureBot navigation. This is based on the AdventureBot Bear project, which we've added extra controls to it. We'll connect to the robot, and we'll start up the camera here for it. And what you can see is we have the navigator skill added here, as well as the Intel RealSense skill added here. So the Intel RealSense skill is pushing data into the navigation skill, and that's what's allowing us to do the navigation. And then we have some ultrasonic distance sensor information here, and these are pushing themselves into this skill as well. If we look at one of these ultrasonic distance sensors, you'll notice that we have the send ping results to the navigator checked, and then some different variables of where they're pointing on the robot. So let's start up the Intel RealSense driver here. As soon as we do that, we start seeing some information showing up in the display. The red are objects that the distance sensors have detected, and the yellow here is where the robot currently is. So if I were to drive the robot, we can see here that it's detecting objects, and we can also see the direction the robot is heading. What we're going to do now is add a few different waypoints. So I'm going to click here and add a waypoint, just randomly at some place, and we're going to add this one. We're going to call this one, just for fun, the kitchen. And we're going to add another waypoint someplace over here, a little bit further up, and we're going to call this one, we'll just call it bed. And then we want to flag our original starting position, and we'll call that one home. Okay, so we know from the previous videos that if I hit start on this, the robot is going to navigate between these waypoints. And the robot made it back home. So what we're going to do now, since we can give waypoints different names, we're going to load up the speech recognition control. And we're going to configure the speech recognition skill to allow us to be able to tell the robot where we want to go and have more of a natural conversation with it. So I'm going to add a new phrase here. I'm going to say, go somewhere. And then in the code here, we're going to speak and say, where would you like me to go? Then we're going to use this function here called wait for speech. And we can pass it a string array. And within the string array, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the global variables that are declared in the system. And we're going to notice that there's an array here for the saved waypoints that we've created. So I'm just going to select that and remove the index of 0 on the end of it. So therefore, we're just extracting everything that's inside of that array and pass it into wait for speech. And then what we're going to do is we're going to right click and go to the navigator and tell it where we want to go to a waypoint. But rather than using the word, we're just going to put the variable in there. And we'll save this. And now we're going to edit the scripts inside of the navigator. We have a navigation script here called start and one called end. So let's go into start, and we'll make the robot speak again and say, I am going to, and then we'll grab from the list here, this one here, the nav waypoint name. We're going to speak that. And then on navigation end, what we're going to do is speak again and say, your robot has arrived. And we'll save this. Save this. So let's take her for a quick spin, shall we? Go somewhere.
Where would you like me to go?
Kitchen.
I am going to kitchen.
has arrived.
Go somewhere.
Where would you like me to go?
Bed.
I am going to bed.
Yeah, you are. Go to bed, robot.
Your robot has arrived.
Go somewhere.
Where would you like me to go?
Home.
I am going to home. Your robot has arrived.
So this is a really simple, quick video, and I think we've demonstrated everything that you'd want to see out of the navigator, because you can give it different waypoints, and you can also ask it to go to different places. So that's exactly what we wanted out of this thing.
I am going to kitchen.
So we could take a quick look at the navigator variables that are here. You'll notice that we have different variables that are stored in the system, such as the current location
Going to bed.
in centimeters, also the current heading, which is in degrees, so what direction it's facing, similar to what you see down here in the compass.
I am going to home.
And you'll also see here that we have the different waypoint name. So if you specify a waypoint manually as well, the X and Y coordinates will display in here.
Your robot has arrived.
And then we have a navigation status. So we can see if the robot is actually navigating or not. It'll be true or false. So if we were to add the variable watcher into this project, you'll see here that we can watch all the different variables in real time as we're navigating.
I am going to kitchen. I am going to bed. I am going to home. Your robot has arrived.
So that's my quick part 3 video where we're really getting robots to go places. This is really great. I hope you stay tuned for part 4, because I'm sure we're going to do something equally as cool.